and welcome to Barovia. I am your humble master of dungeons and keeper of dragons, Pixel, and I am pleased to present to you the 7th episode of Ages of Ainor presents The Curse of Strahd. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. Thanks for those subs, guys. God, it's been a long time since we've done this. How's everybody doing? You guys having fun? It's crazy. The power's out at the bonus house. The internet's out at the bonus house. Ozzy, thank you for those bits. Thanks for the subs and everything, guys. So we're at Vincent's house right now, putting a tremendous load on his internet, which we all know. God only knows if it'll keep up. So we're going to just make the best of everything while we can today. I'm going to try to blaze through this stuff as quickly as possible in the intro. So while everybody kind of wanders in here, most of you guys know the shtick, but we're going to get into that game here in just a few minutes. We're going to go over usual housekeeping things. First things first, folks in chat, try to remember when we move onto map screens, which may not happen that much this stream, but you are seeing the DM perspective. So you may see things on my screen that the players don't see and don't know about. Try not to spoil those things. So if there's monsters in the next room or Strahd is waiting in the closet ready to, kill somebody, whatever, please try not to mention that in chat before the players know about it, because you could detract from their experience of the game. They may be in chat with you guys trying to talk and keep things rolling while they play, and so in order to facilitate that, please try not to do any spoilers in chat. Secondly, please remember that D&D is a complex game with a lot of rules where we are also improvising a story together as a group. So we may play fast and loose with the rules. I may change things in the adventure. I may make up rulings on the spot if I don't know what I'm doing. Whatever. If you happen to know the rules, and we're trying to think of oh God, how do you resolve this or that, whatever, you can put that in chat. If we see it, we'll try to act on that. But if we miss it, don't lose your mind. It's going to be fine. We're just here to have fun and play a good game and tell a good story. So we're not going to go back and fix things. We'll just try and get it right next time. Thirdly, we want to keep this space as open and welcoming a place as we can to the extent that that's possible on the internet. So we do try to keep that internet toxicity to a minimum. So we don't put up with anybody being abusive or hateful in chat, whether that's to other viewers, whether that's to anybody on the stream, anything regarding their knowledge of the game or the rules, their character choices, their anything else about them. Never been a problem before. Well, you're all pretty much good people here, but we do want to be upfront just in case we get any folks who don't know who we are here and want to cause problems. We want to make it clear that we don't put up with that nonsense. Fourthly, just a warning, this adventure is horror themed. There are elements, and there will be elements today, which some viewers might find unpleasant or disturbing. We're not setting out to be overly graphic or gruesome or upset anyone or anything like that, but we do want to kind of caution everybody. Just be aware that the things that you may happen in this campaign are on par with what you may get in some horror films from time to time. So when videos go up on YouTube, we do try to put appropriate trigger warnings on those things. But in the context of a live stream where we're improvising things, it's really not going to be possible to give advance warnings of stuff. Possibly triggering content, anything like that. So just be aware. I will preface this by saying there will be no depictions of basically graphic sexual content of any kind, especially assault or violence. That's just fully off the table, so you don't have to worry about that. But, this is horror themed, so just kind of be aware of what you're getting into here, folks. Fifthly, it is widely known that this adventure has some problematic depictions of individuals that are inspired by travelers or the Romani people, IRL. I've done my best to search for resources online to help sort of alter those depictions in the adventure to avoid offensive stereotypes of those people. So just kind of be aware of that. And then we do want to say last week we did hit our channel points challenge. So Bonus Mom is going to be doing her first sort of on-stream DMing with us. We're very excited about that. So we don't have the date fully locked down for that. We were probably going to shoot for between the end of Siege of Castle Rend and when we start our new adventure on those Fridays. So we'll keep TBD on that, but we are excited. We did hit that goal with you guys. Bonus Mom is still kind of picking her folks that she wants to invite to it, and we are still working on setting that up. So we're very excited. And then finally, a last reminder, we do release this show on YouTube after each episode sometime during the following week. Our internet is out, so I don't know when I'll get it up. Don't expect it up by Sunday this week necessarily, unless crazy things happen. But we do try to get that up for you guys as soon as we can, so that if you have to miss part of this week or anything, you can get caught up for next time. And then very last thing before we get started, if Cass, if you go around and please introduce yourselves, and your characters, as well as whether or not you have chat inspiration before we jump in. The inestimable Vincent Page.
Hello, friends. I am Vincent Page. Most of you guys probably know me from over there on Facebook, where we stream pretty much all the time. Variety streamer. And today I am playing Ash Fireforge, the recent traumatically damaged Ash Fireforge who just lost their brother. I am a changeling rogue, and I'm looking for chat inspiration. I've not played in a while. I don't know where this shit is.
Middle right side under bonds.
Do have chat inspiration.
Beautiful. Excellent. Golly gee, Omega. Why don't you tell them who you are, where they can find you?
Yeah. Hello, friends. My name is Omega. I am playing Onyx Montarik, who is a Bladesong wizard, who's a gnome. You can find me on TikTok at OmegaMT42. Nothing special, no characters or special characters, anything like that. I do plan on doing something special though, because I did get a surprise package from Bonus Mom. So go ahead and check out my TikTok to see what that is. Excellent. And that TikTok link is in our link dump. Hopefully everybody sees that. I don't know how Moobot's working these days. Anyway, Ozzy, what's up?
So I'm Cass Amblecrown. I'm a dwarf paladin, very new to the crew, just kind of stumbled upon them at the end of the last session, and can't wait for her to get to know everybody.
Excellent. Very excited.
I have chat inspiration.
You have chat inspiration. Great. Onyx, did you say if you had, Omega, you're a real human and not a character. Did you say if you have chat inspiration?
Sorry. Yes. And I do have chat inspiration, so I'm good on my end for now.
Beautiful. And of course, the one and only Bonus Mom.
My name is Bonus Mom. I'm sorry. I'm just discombobulated tonight because I'm not hearing everything that's being said. And given that, I'm going to change to my phone volume in a minute. Pixel, and we'll hope that it goes better. Druid, who is Mastiff, actually, having taken the form of a Mastiff at the end of the last game. And I do not have chat inspiration or DM inspiration, so I'm badly in need of being inspired.
Gotcha. Okay, and we are having some technical difficulties with Bonus Mom's feed, guys. We're going to do our best and try and kind of plow through it tonight, because we're already operating in the absolute not idealist of circumstances here. I love D&D so much that we're willing to do this, but God, this is crazy. Okay, friends. Well, hey, what's up? My name is Pixel. I will be your dungeon master this evening on our adventure in Barovia for the Curse of Strahd. You can find me sometimes on facebook.com/ham. Okay, we are getting an echo from Bonus Mom. Master this evening on our
We're gonna make it through it. It's gonna be great.
Hey, Bonus Mom.
Yes.
We're getting a bad echo off of that. You need to mute when you're not talking. Hey, guys.
Hello.
I don't. Yeah. Okay. You can just yell at me if you need to know what's going on. Okay, guys, we're gonna get through this. My name is Pixel. You can find me sometimes on Facebook when I have internet, which apparently is never. So I don't know. I also do Dungeons and Dragons here when I have internet, which is also never. So I hope I ever get to see you again. Here we go. We're gonna do this episode. We'll see if we ever get to do another one. So shifting gears here, friends. Without further ado, when last we left our heroes, they escaped the death house, but not without cost. Not without great cost. Thorin is dead. Beaten unconscious by Lorgoth the Decayer, Thorin encountered an angel of Helm the Watchman. A solar, in fact, summoned to Barovia by Thorin himself. when he attempted to free the souls of the children they had laid to rest. A Solar, the most powerful of all angels, attempting to rescue Rosavalda and Thornbolt Durst, the two children whose souls were trapped in the death house. Rosavalda was safe, but Thornbolt was trapped by a mysterious, smoky figure in the blackness of the ethereal plane. Thorin realized he could save the souls of both children at the cost of his own. He contacted Ash one last time and then attacked the figure, causing just enough of a distraction that the angel was able to save Thornbolt before Thorin was lost instead. Thornbolt pulled free of the angel, briefly manifested on the material plane, summoning whatever little power he had to create a knight in shining armor with a glowing shield out of his little dolly that he carried around, buying just enough time for Ash, Wandress, and Onyx to get away, saving his saviors in turn. The party managed to escape the shambling mound that had put them in the predicament in the first place, racing up the stairs to find that the remainder of the death house was now no longer simply walls and doors, wood and carpet. The house itself was alive and filled with malice. Every oven or fireplace billowed poisonous smoke. Every doorway was blocked by swinging blades. The party fled, Wandress protecting Onyx's unconscious body at his own risk, while Ash struggled to carry Thorin's dead body out of the house, that it would not be his tomb. Ash reached the second floor and attempted to throw Thorin through one of the doorways, only to time his throw at the worst possible moment, and Thorin's already dead body was then decapitated. In horror, Ash gathered Thorin's head and body and continued to drag them out of the house. After an eternity filled with hellish struggle, they escaped the death house into the streets of Barovia at night under the leering view of the ancient castle, high atop the hill overlooking the rundown town. They gathered themselves on a nearby stoop to catch their breath and wait for Onyx to awaken, and as he did so, a kindly old woman approached. Granny Patsy, the only good and kind thing in all of Barovia, found the party bloody and mourning, in shock and pain on that stoop. After a short dialogue, she offered what comfort she could to the weary and saddened adventurers, and even gifted them one of her famous pies. After all, they looked like they could use it, before making her way out of Barovia to the east. The party gathered themselves together and began to try to discern what should be done with Thorin's body. Granny Patsy had said there was a graveyard to the northwest end of town, and as they approached, a curious procession of ghostly spirits began to emanate from the graveyard and make their way along the Svalich Road to the west, to unknown destination. Ash refused to even attempt to bury Thorin in such a place, with a possibility that he could be doomed to march that same march with the others somehow. Or worse. They decided to leave the relative safety of the village and make their way to the woods at the base of the cliff upon which the castle overlooks the downtrodden village, to build a pyre for Thorin instead. A few solemn words were spoken, and Thorin's body was burned. Afterwards, they made camp in the same woods, when they heard the sound of wolves howling in the distance. A female dwarf came crashing out of the underbrush of those woods into their camp, requesting the aid of the party with a pack of direwolves hot on her heels. They managed to fend off the wolves, and that is where we resume our story, with all of you standing and staring at this strange individual. Wandress, you have just transformed into a mastiff. Ash, you have shape-shifted into your female aspect. And Onyx, you just lit a bunch of wolves on fire. And Cass, these strangers just saved you. And one of them has a truly incredible, if a bit small, tent. What do you do?
Ooh. Thanks for the help. I thought I was a goner for sure.
Yeah, anytime. Pardon my bluntness, but what are you doing here?
I've been seeking Barovia for a long time. I felt drawn to this place for some reason.
Gods, I can't imagine why.
It's a long story.
Well, I believe I may go and rest for a while.
Got any more room in that tent?
No, I do not.
I think Wandress is going to use the Roll20 chat. So Wandress is wandering back towards the tent. So you all see a large dog wander out of the woods.
This is the first time we're seeing Wondrous do the druid thing too.
Yeah, so I think you probably all witnessed Wandress transform, but
Right.
Wandress is still in Mastiff form.
Yeah, I would say that Ash probably looks at the massive dog and is like, that's a new trick, Wondrous.
Sorry, it's going to take just an extra minute for Wandress to communicate with us, so please bear with us.
I'll
Wandress,
try to speak. Can you hear me?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I just said Wanderous is going to wander over towards Ash, who is now female, correct? And sniff around a bit to see if who that is. Will she know? Will he know? Will the master know that it's Ash?
It all froze. Okay. Well, we heard, I think, some of that. So Wandress walks back over to Ash and sniffs Ash.
Okay. Obviously, I heard what Wondrous was saying. Trying to see. Obviously, I look different today too. So he is sniffing to see. Yeah. If
Does
if he
Wandress
recognizes me.
recognize Ash? Yeah, sure. Wandress, make a make a perception check with advantage because it's based on smell, and Mastiffs, I believe, have keen smell. $17. Yeah, I think with the 17, you recognize Ash's smell, although it is different a little bit now. But there's enough similarity that you recognize.
I would also wander over to Kaz and do the same thing.
Okay, sure. Make a perception check with advantage. 12. Cass is really hard to read. Smells like sweaty dwarf that ran through the woods. You smell mud. You smell wolf. You smell blood. You smell Barovia. You know. But I think with a 12, it's hard to get a read on anything about Cass.
Okay. So, I guess that who was taking first watches? Does anybody remember? It's been a while.
Not even a little bit.
Was it Onyx? I feel like it was, but I could be wrong.
Onyx.
If no one remembers, we can say that it was.
I know for a fact that it was not Ash because I rolled up and had changed, and I distinctly remember that.
No, I'm pretty sure I took first watch after that. So
okay,
yeah, because I think Onyx was the only one awake, and everyone else had to get woken up by the wolves and stuff.
Yeah. I was already awake at that time. So
cool.
Wander's put in chat that he stays in Mastiff form and his hackles raise.
Okay, thank you. I'll need all the help I can get juggling.
I got you. Unfortunately, friends, my Wi-Fi is even worse than my hardline, so that's why Bonus Mom's having some issues with being heard. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to share in Wondrous's what's the word here? Misgivings. We've not had very, pleasant encounters thus far in this place. So I feel like Ash would probably say, you're more than welcome to rest here for now. Onyx, you get some sleep. I think there's no way I can go to sleep after this.
okay.
Well,
I will get some sleep.
You guys are the first friendly faces I've seen here.
I wouldn't hold my breath to see many more. And
So
I
what
think
brings
that
you? What brought you guys here?
I would say at this point, Ash definitely probably walks over past the fire and kind of settles down by a tree. Not much in the chatting mood, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and put myself like over here if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it. Wanderer settles down by the fire with an eye on Cass. So, Cass, you've asked the question, and they seem to just kind of be like semi-ignoring you. Onyx, do you respond to that at all?
No, I think I'm just gonna like immediately pass out in my tent.
Beautiful. Can we see the map pixel? It's really not that important, Amber, on this one. They're just sitting around the campfire. So there's really not, it wouldn't add much to you at this point.
Yeah, I move myself just for
like they can see it
reference
just for
for
their
us,
own reference,
yeah.
but I'll just tell you like flat out, it's not really going to come up, I don't think. So,
Well, I'm gonna go sit by the fire and pull out my journal and journal.
okay. So Ash is taking this watch, Onyx is going to sleep, and Wandress is trying to keep an eye on Cass. Wandress, are you planning to sleep or like stay up all night? I'll just ask in the chat.
How long does my shape last? I can't find that.
Yeah, I'll check it out for you. Give me 1 second.
And do I understand what Kaz said? Does
Yes,
Wanderers-
you can understand anything. It's just that you can't respond, really. I mean, you can't speak, but you can, you retain your mental faculties, right? You can stay in wild shape for a number of hours equal to half your druid level rounded down. So at this level, you can stay in it for 1 hour.
If Ash notices that Wanderers is still kind of like got his eyes on Cass, I'd imagine they probably look over and it's like, I'll keep an eye on him, Wanderers, if you want to catch some more rest.
Well, for starters, I am female.
Oops, my bad.
Oh,
I thought I said them or her. My bad. I didn't mean to. A little tapping icon.
Did you post? If you posted something, Bonus Mom, it didn't post. Okay, I have no idea what Bonus Mom is trying to communicate, so I'm just going to move on. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Onyx, you are going to sleep, yes?
Yes, I am.
Do we think it'd be easier if
Yeah, I think we should throw it a break and solve this problem. Honestly, it's going to be a nightmare to try and deal with. Okay, hey guys, tech problems. We're going to throw it a break for just a minute. Please stick around. We appreciate you, and we will be back here as soon as we figure out how to actually make this work. All right. Hey everybody, we think we're good. We're hoping. God only knows. VP, I'm going to give you access to Wanderess.
Okay.
Just to. There we go. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, so let's just pick back up there. So Wanderess has laid down by the fire. Cass attempted to ask how you folks got to Barovia, and no one was particularly interested in answering that question. Although you do seem fine to let cast sleep in your circle of firelight for the evening. Onyx has crawled into Tent Summer and fallen asleep. Ash is brooding and Cass is journaling. And Wanderous, you had asked me how long you'll be remaining in Mastiff form. You'll be that way for an hour. And then I think Ash was trying to say something to Wanderous, and that's where we kind of hit our wall. So.
Yeah, I can pick up there. What I was saying is that if Ash notices that Wanderous is kind of like in guard dog mode and eyeing down Cass, I think that Ash would look over and be like, try and get some rest, Wanderous. I'll keep an eye on her.
Hearing that, Wanderer stands up and just shakes his fur like a mastiff would and eventually transforms back into Wanderous and is standing there all 9 feet tall of him looking down at Cass. And he would say to Cass, "Who are you and how did you get here?"
Cass, I've been trying to find this place for a long time. And I just happened to wander upon your guys' camp while those wolves were chasing me. Thank you for killing them, by the way. That was a big help.
This has been a place that we stumbled into, and it has not been a good experience. You say you have actually been looking for this place?
I have.
Then you have knowledge of it.
Not as much as I thought that I did.
What kind of place is this? We were in a house that attacked us, and then we saw ghosts wandering through the night. I've never seen a place like this. Do you know what makes it like this?
I just know it's a place of great evil.
Yes, I fear as much. But you were looking for it? Why?
It's a story for another time.
Wanderous looks over at Ash. Ash, are you all right? Now, are you saying you will take watch?
Yeah, I don't think I can go back to sleep. I've got this watch.
Ash, you must take care of yourself.
Ash is just going to give us a slight smirk and nod.
Then I think Wanderous will settle into sleep and hopefully get a long rest.
Okay, Onyx and Wanderous are going to sleep. Ash is staying up on watch. Cass is journaling. Is Cass going to sleep eventually or staying up all night? What's your plan?
Eventually, it's been a crazy day. Cass can't really sleep.
Okay. So Onyx, Wanderous, and Cass, I would like you to roll initiative for me.
Okay.
I don't like this.
Chrissy, wake up.
Ooh, well, you're about to like it even less.
Oh, no.
All right, so you all drift off to sleep. And with that, Onyx, your sleep is peaceful, restful. You awaken in absolute blackness. And it takes a second for your deep gnomish dark vision to kick in. But as it does, you see that directly above you is a plush satin cloth a few inches above your face. You turn and look around. You see this same cloth in every direction, with just the barest room around you to even turn your head and look. It is extremely extremely claustrophobic. You don't even have room to like roll over or move or stretch out your arms or legs in any direction. You don't see any ventilation for air. Onyx, what do you do?
Well, I would personally like to cast fire bolts at one of the walls
Okay.
to see if it does anything.
Yeah, you sort of kind of like curve, like it's so tight in here that it's hard to really get the somatic components out, but you do manage it, and you launch it at one of the walls, and the cloth begins to burn. It is a few inches from you, so you sort of like scoot as far away from it as you can. Are you just gonna like let it continue to burn, or see what? So it's on fire. What next?
I'm gonna see if there's like anything past like the fire as it's burning.
Okay.
Like if there's anything else like past like this silk.
This
thing.
cloth. Yeah, and like the silk, like you can feel like if you move in any direction, you actually can feel a solid surface like right behind. It's like it's almost some sort of cushion or something kind of all around you. And sorry, I'm just looking at Vince's face right now. And so it's like some sort of like cushion in any direction. And yeah, as it burns and it burns away, you can sort of see wood underneath it.
I'm gonna go ahead and essentially just cast Ray of Frost.
Okay.
To try to like put out some of the fire.
Yeah, you can put out so you cast Ray of Frost, and it like freezes, and so you begin to smell this like burning cloth, and then you've like made it, the Ray of Frost sort of freezes it, and then it begins to melt, and so it's sort of like soggy, and you can kind of begin to smell a little bit of burning wood over in that direction.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just crawl over there, or get over there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
how big.
It's like right, it's like right in front of your face, and it's like right.
Okay.
Like there's not really crawling. You're like you're in some kind of a box, maybe.
No.
Okay. I mean, out of game, I know what it is, but I probably don't at this point.
Yeah, I don't know that Onyx would have any particular frame of reference for this object.
So I'm gonna go ahead and try to push at the wood and see what happens.
Yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Okay, let's do this. Athletics.
Okay, so you're just like beating, like pushing against the wood, and it doesn't give at all.
Okay. Oh goodness. I don't think I really have much of anything I can do at this point. Yeah, I don't think I really have much of anything. I think I might try to cast let's see. Okay, it has a actually, could I do false life? I'll put it in the chat.
Give yourself temporary hit points. Yeah, you can give yourself temporary hit points, I would say.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just do that just in case, because I don't know where I am. So, whoops. How do I submit at level 1?
Yeah, you can just slash R 1d4 plus 4 if you want to roll that.
1d4, yeah. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, so you, what does it look like as you cast False Life on yourself using a small amount of alcohol? Or your Arcane Focus, if you prefer.
So for me, it's going to look like basically it's going to like have a sickly green color to it. But it's basically going to kind of look like me taking life from a skull and like putting it into myself. So
Interesting. Yeah. So you fish around. You still have like all your wizardly components and everything are in here. So you sort of fish down into your pocket and get everything you need and kind of cast this spell on yourself. And you sort of feel suffused with this necromantic facsimile of life. Maybe buying yourself a little time. What do you do?
At this point, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just try and see if I can push against the wood again.
Okay. Yeah, make an athletics check with advantage. Because I feel like you like. Well, I guess let me ask you this: like, how's Onyx feeling right now? Like, is he just like doing his best, or is he starting to panic?
I think he's starting to panic a little bit, but like he's a little too prideful, like to himself.
Interesting.
Like, oh yeah, like I have to like get through this. Like I can't show anything right now, but
okay, curious. Yeah, okay, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I think with this, Onyx, I think you're like scrabbling at the box, and I think you accidentally sort of like you get through the cloth, and I think you accidentally like get a really nasty splinter of wood just like up under your fingernail.
Oh,
As you
okay.
Yeah.
Do I take piercing for that?
Yeah, sure.
Why do you ask?
Maybe quit offering it
Hey,
up. I don't
you
know.
take
like
4
that.
points of piercing damage.
God.
And it's like,
For a
oh,
fucking splinter.
God, it hurts.
Ugh. Maybe don't ask.
And while you're at it, make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh god. There's
11. I think the DC on that's 15. I think you do begin to panic at this point. I think you're down a finger, and you don't really see a way out here. What do you can keep just scrabbling? Like what's does Onyx change tactics, or do you just keep?
I think for me, I'm gonna try to change tactics because I mean, I'm gonna like try to like flip myself on my stomach and try to push with my back.
Okay.
Against it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and I'm gonna say first make an acrobatics check to see if you can like get yourself around and get your knees up under you enough. I think you can. I think 11 will do it for acrobatics because it's like just squirreling around in there. Okay. Yeah. And then this time, give me an athletics check with advantage to like. Okay. 14. I'll say with a 14, like as you strain and push with your little gnome body, you hear wood begin to crack and crack, and you feel dirt pouring in with you.
Oh, great. Yeah, at that point, I think I'm just gonna try to stop. And I guess like try to keep like more dirt from like coming in.
Okay, yeah. So there you are. If you stop moving like a little bit, we'll continually just sort of fall past you. But it's like, it's not just like pouring in here.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'll just think about my life choices with having joined these people.
Yeah. And so Onyx, you sort of sit there and you just feel this like weight in your chest, this oppressive. You feel this weight on your back, but it's mirrored by this heaviness. Your stomach drops. You feel this just like immense sort of weight. It's almost like someone sitting on your chest. Just the weight of how unbelievably fucked this whole situation is. And as you sort of sit there and breathe and you feel after a few minutes the oxygen getting thinner, your breaths get heavier, your eyes get heavier, and you're in tent Sama. You bolt up in your perfect tent. It was all a dream.
Oh.
Ash, make a perception check for me.
Oh.
24. Ash, you are keyed into everything happening in these woods, and you hear a gasp of air from inside the tent.
And Sama.
Okay, I think that Ash would kind of quickly get up and like, I wouldn't say run, but like stride quickly over to the tent and kind of pull it back. And Onyx, are you all right?
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine. That it's fine. I just there's a rat or something. I don't know. It was something weird. I can see it, but
can I roll like something on
yeah, I guess I'll leave that to you guys. Onyx, if you think that you're being convincing at all right now, you can roll a deception check.
I will try to roll that.
Okay, that's a 12. So make an insight check, Ash. If you beat a 12, then
my boy was stuttering. All right, I'm so saying.
Oh.
damn. Ash, listen, Ash is not going to get fooled again. She's been in some fucked up situations and is just like extremely like fucking like, you know, I think maybe at this point you're kind of like, nothing is fucking with my people again. Like, not tonight. I don't know. That's up to you. But yeah, Ash, you are extremely keyed in for whatever reason. And you can tell that Onyx has had a somewhat disturbing sort of experience of some kind. Probably a bad dream would be I think with a nat 20, I think you can make that leap. There's been some sort of sleep-wise experience that has really shook. All the signs are there. Onyx is like sweating. You know, the bedclothes are clammy. They're sort of like unkempt.
I've got a great one-liner here, and I'm totally going to use it. Call it a woman's intuition. But I don't think you're telling me the truth. The reality is the rats have been bothering me since we've got here too. So if you need to talk, I'll be by my tree.
Yeah. The rats. Yeah. I'll let you know if I see any more rats.
Yeah, I definitely think that it was like easy to figure it out. I think we've all been plagued by dreams, so I should just go back to our tree.
All right, Onyx, do you roll over and try to go back to sleep? What do you do?
Oh, geez. Would I have spent my spell slot for that?
No.
Okay.
No, and you actually
Guess it
didn't really
wasn't.
take the damage either.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think I'm just gonna try to like rock myself back to sleep a little bit.
Okay.
Cut to Ash cradling Onyx by the tree. Like, okay, it's fine. Sorry.
Wondrous, you're back in your tent in your village. As one of the potential chosen to be the shaman of your village, you are separated into a tent designed to foment your connection with the stars. As such, the roof of your tent is enchanted with druidcraft to mimic the stars at night. But you outgrew this tent long ago. You are wrapped in your blankets, comfortable and warm, and are staring at the night sky above you. It is as clear as you have ever seen it. You find yourself staring at that place you often found yourself staring. A particularly unimpressive patch of sky with a particularly blank patch in and amongst the impressive twinkling of bright stars and galaxies overhead. But this is the place you know it is supposed to be, though at the time, you had never actually seen it. the purple star. You were supposedly born under it, marked by it, but it never shone again for you. For so long, you sometimes questioned if it was real or some kind of test for you to pass. You used to stare at it for hours, waiting for something, anything to happen. Nothing ever did. But then, you see it, twinkling there plain as day. A distinctively purple light begins to shine among the others, right where it was supposed to be all along. But you're in your tent. The tent you spent hours in as a child gazing at the stars. This never happened. This can't be a memory. You know on some fuzzy and indistinct level that this is not happening now. This is something else, but you're not quite sure what. What do you do?
Because I didn't quite catch everything you said, you have told me that I have the impression that I'm in my tent and I'm looking up where I was constantly looking for the star and never finding it, and suddenly it appears.
Yes, but you also know that that never happened when you were in that tent. You outgrew it a long time ago, and you somehow know in a kind of fuzzy and indistinct way that this is not where you're supposed to be. Yeah, it's a little hazy.
Yeah, but it's the purple star that I've been searching for evidence of all of my life. So I think I would attempt to get up and get out of the tent or whatever constraint there is so that I could stand up and look straight up.
Okay. Yeah, you get up and you step outside the tent. And you fall. And down below you is the sky. And up above you is the sky. And to the left and the right is the sky. And you are sort of tumbling in endless open space. Stars distantly twinkle all around you. And you feel as if you're falling, as if there's movement, but you don't see any ground that you're falling towards.
I think that I would scream. I think that I would open my mouth and roar out with a huge, the loudest shout of oh or ah, whatever, as much to see if I hear myself make a sound as anything. And I would start to scrabble in midair. Do I feel anything? I would throw my hands and my legs in all directions as I was falling.
Yeah, so as you begin to panic and flail around and you feel this pressure from your lungs passing through your throat and you feel those vibrations in your body, you hear nothing. Silence. And you scrabble.
Okay,
You scrabble about, and you don't even feel air anymore. Your arms are moving through nothing.
Okay, where I was laying down out beside the fire, and Ash said he was there. I think Onyx, from deep within himself, would again shout, Ash, help me, into the darkness as he's flailing around. He would call out to Ash to help him.
Okay, Wanderers, this is weird, make a Constitution ability check. So not a saving throw, just roll your Constitution score.
Where Constitution is, just hit the Constitution on the
just
far
hit the Constitution button.
Side.
20, yeah. So you kind of try it a couple of times. And you feel this like it's like your mouth isn't really responding to you. You know you couldn't hear anything to begin with, but you just kind of are disoriented, and you sort of take a deep breath of you don't know what, because you don't feel air going into your lungs even though they expand, and you try your hardest to yell and scream at the top of your lungs, but all that comes out is Ash. Ash, make a perception check for me. Ash, once again, already had one bout with the bullshit tonight. You sit back down, and just as you start to settle into your, at this point, paranoid watch, you hear Wandress mumbling your name, disoriented, seemingly scared.
Again, I think at this point, Ash has got a very good idea of kind of what's going on, having experienced it themselves a bunch. Ash is going to kind of gingerly crouch down next to Wondrous and give him a small shake. And Wondrous.
Yeah. Wondrous, you are flailing about, and as you flail, you see the purple star again. And you are falling away from it, and then all of a sudden it's not a star anymore, it's a hand. And it's reaching out towards you. What do you do?
Wandrous reaches for the hand, grasps on it as hard as he can, and tries with everything in him to launch himself towards that hand. So he grabs and he moves toward, if he can. That's what he's trying to do.
So you reach for the hand, and the hand reaches for you, and it grasps you. And you hear a voice briefly in your head, Wondrous. It says, Salethiel. And then...
I didn't catch that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
I think we'll go back and forth 9 times trying to get it, but you hear a voice. It says a word you don't understand and don't recognize. And then you feel a shake, and you come awake, Wondrous, and you actually kind of like punch your arm up into the air, reaching for something as Ash shakes you awake.
All right. When I realize that Ash is there, Wondrous, all 9 feet of him with that arm, is going to lunge at Ash and grab him and hold on for dear life, gulping air madly. And it's almost as though he tries to wrap himself around Ash in the same way that he held Onyx, which is impossible because he is so much bigger than Ash, but he's going to try. It's like he tries to climb into Ash.
Okay, Ash, so this extremely large furbolg bolts awake, punches an arm into the air, and then throws it around you and just tries to cling to you as tightly as possible.
After being extremely taken aback, because that is scary at first, kind of the first kind of moments there, I think Ash would knowingly cling right back to Wondrous and kind of pat it on his back, and it's all right. They can't get you anymore.
Ash, I was in the middle of nothing. I was falling through the stars, and there was no sound, and I couldn't move, and my star was there, but it was terrifying. And then I felt a hand. Oh, Ash, thank you for hearing me. And I think that at that point, Wondrous realizes that he's trying to wrap himself around poor Ash, and he would back off, but he's very loath to let go with the one hand. He steps away, but the last thing he does is let go with the hand that was grasping Ash, and he's just breathing heavily and saying, "Thank you."
They've bothered me bad too. Ever since we've got here, there's not been a moment that I've closed my eyes that I've not been riddled with the same kinds of dreams. It's just something about this place. And I think that Ash would probably reach for the water skin and kind of hold it out to Wondrous. And
Wondrous nods and takes a drink and says, I know nothing of dreams like this. I hope I didn't hurt you. Ash, before that house, I never touched anyone. I never touched anyone.
we're not going to leave anybody else behind. And sometimes we all need a touch to remind us that there's people that care.
Yes. Yes, I think you're right. Thank you. And I think I'll just sit here now. And Wonders kind of looks up into what is probably the cloudy sky. And he's just looking around and sitting by the fire.
Yeah. I think the night is overcast, dark. The only light is the embers of the fire around which Ash is taking watch. Cass.
Yes.
Cass, you walk through a snow-covered path. Bitter cold blusters and whips around you. You can tell you are at a high elevation. The air is thin here. Ahead, you see the facade of some kind of temple carved into the mountainside. The front of the structure is 50 feet high and has 6 alcoves containing 20-foot-tall statues. Each statue is carved from a single block of amber and depicts a faceless hooded figure, its hands pressed together in a gesture of prayer. Between the two innermost figures is a 20-foot-tall archway with a stairway leading down. What do you do?
I'm going to head towards the stairway.
You find your feet drawn towards the opening. As you reach it, you see icy steps descend 10 feet to a time-ravaged hallway with arrow slits in the walls. Beyond the hall lies a vast, sepulchral darkness. Something in the darkness is pulling at you, Cass. Something in the darkness wants you to be there. It is calling to you. But not the voice you know. Not the familiar darkness. No, that voice is behind you, urging you forward into the deep. The cold here is bitter, and there is no light. Your dwarven eyes adjust to the lack of light, showing you a 20-foot wide balcony of black marble with a shattered railing overlooking a vast temple. Black marble staircases at each end of the balcony descend 30 feet to the temple floor. The vaulted ceiling is 30 feet above the balcony. Down below, 4 marble columns stretch all the way from below all the way above to the top of the ceiling to support the vault of the top of the temple, at the north end of which stands a 40-foot-tall statue of a cowled figure in flowing robes. The statue's stony hands are outstretched as if in the midst of casting a spell. Its face is a void of utter blackness, and it is calling to you. Cass, what do you do?
I'm going to grab my holy symbol and say a prayer to Torm.
You grab your symbol and say a prayer to Torm. And I think as you do, the symbol lights in your hand, showing you the floors and ceilings here, all of black marble, accented with white from time to time. The walls carved out of pure amber. You feel that warmth of Torm surround you with that light. But it is faint and sickly. Now, Ozzy knows the faint and sickly I'm talking about. But I don't think Cass is familiar. Cass, where you're from, everything is in Technicolor. The saturation is turned up. It's bigger than life, brighter than the sun is brighter, the grass is greener. Everything except for you and the shadows you see. So this is different. This is new. It feels tenuous and distant, but it's there.
Just gonna keep going forward.
You keep going forward, and you feel the approval of that voice behind you, and you feel the pull of that voice towards you. And as you step onto the 20-foot wide balcony, it begins to crumble beneath you, and you fall 30 feet down towards the floor, and just before you hit, you spring awake, sitting by the fire. Ash, make a perception check.
I'm muted. I'm sorry.
Oh goodness.
I heard you laugh.
Probably heard me through there, Mike. I'm loud and obnoxious, friends.
No, you're not.
So 15, yeah, I think that'll do. You're not as keyed in on this one. You've been comforting Wandress, and just as Wandress sort of gets calmed down and starts to get back into a state, like clockwork, Cass bolts awake. The new person, this dwarf, bolts awake. So I'm going to leave it up to either Ash, you notice this, Cass, you've just woken up. I'm going to leave it up to you guys as to who says what first.
I feel like, again, there's a theme here. Ash would probably is not going to get up and walk over to Cass. Still very wary. This place sucks. But kind of look over and just look for a minute and say, bad dream.
It's been similar to one that I've had before.
Yeah.
I feel like
this
that
time,
would probably
though,
take... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, this time, Cass, it's the clearest it's ever been. A lot of times it's fuzzy, it's impressions, it's images. You've seen those statues before. You've seen that marble balcony before. You've seen those amber walls before, but it's disjointed. And now you can see how it fits together. And you can feel the call stronger than ever.
So yeah, it's a dream that I've had before. This time it's clearer than it's ever been.
I feel like Ash would be a bit taken aback with the whole comment of like, I've had this dream a bunch, because it feels like most of us are having like dreams that are, kind of left field. I'm taking a lot of liberties here, I guess, but I think what Ash would probably say here would be like, this place has a really funny way of infiltrating our minds. So that could be why you're seeing it a lot clearer, for better or for worse.
Well, that's why I have to be wary of this place.
Don't we all?
So what brought you here?
I think Ash kind of leans back up against their tree, and without really looking at Cass anymore. Me and my brother got brought here with the promise of a contract.
Oh, which one's your brother?
I think that Ash takes quite some time before answering. He's no longer with us.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm all too familiar with loss.
The short amount of time we've been here, we've seen more pain and suffering than I think most of us have ever seen in our entire lives. So if we seem standoffish, you have to understand that this, you said it yourself, this place is truly evil.
It is.
whatever your reasons are for being here, I hope that they're worth it.
Me too.
Jeez,
Okay.
Sorry. I see the comment in chat. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, who's on watch after Ash?
I can take watch.
So, how much longer is it until morning? I wanted to ask that real quick.
You've got a couple hours, I guess. I
I
mean, you were like second watch, so 4 more hours? 3 more
I feel
hours,
like
something like that?
that if Cass is gonna like offer up to Ash specifically that like, hey, I can take the next watch, I think Ash will be like, feel free to stay up, but I don't think I'll be going back to sleep. Now I think that Ash is gonna push through the next watch as well.
Ooh, okay. All right, Onyx and Wanderous, do you think either of you try to like wake up and take a watch, or do you just go back to sleep and let Ash take the exhaustion?
Um,
I guess let's start here. Wanderous and Onyx both give me Constitution saving throws. And I'm going to say if you beat a 13, you can choose if you want to stay up or not. All right, so Onyx, poor little Onyx, suffocated tonight. Tucker's out. Wanderous, on the other hand, Wanderous, you can choose. If you think Wanderous would just sleep through the night and be exhausted, you can do that. Or if you think Wanderous would wake up and try to take a watch to take some load off of Ash, you can do that as well. Now, I'm not saying Ash has to go to sleep, but I'm just giving Wanderous the opportunity to offer.
Well, you need to refresh my memory on how resting works. Okay, because I had, I think, gone to sleep in order to get the dream that I had.
Right.
And I'm at 4 health points. So I am exhausted and I am badly, badly wounded.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I would be able to choose to stay awake. I think I would fall into exhausted slumber, whether I wanted to or not, because I'm so hurt.
Okay. Yeah. I think if that's what you think, then I think that's where it is. So, Ash, you have 1 level of exhaustion. What that means mechanically is I believe that you have disadvantage on all ability checks. I'm going to double check that until you take a long rest.
Okay. This was a role play decision, folks. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I love it. Also,
Yeah,
you just wanted to
same
deny
with
me the
me.
opportunity to show you what I had in store for you.
Oh, damn, now I kind of feel bad. You want me to go
No. Listen, if you think it went anywhere, you have to sleep eventually, right? I mean,
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
6 levels of
there's
exhaustion and
always
Ash is
tomorrow
dead.
night.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the day, I don't really want to say dawns because this is Barovia. The day sort of happens. It kind of bleeds into existence. The sky gets a little lighter. The ambient light of the sun filtered through the clouds makes it such that you can see around you. And you all awake. Now, here's the question. Cass, you offered to take watch. Did you go back to sleep or not?
I don't think so.
Don't think so. Okay.
Cass is just intently journaling.
Since you got more sleep, I'm going to say give me a Constitution saving throw. If you beat a 10, you don't also take exhaustion. Ash definitely does for getting like 2 hours of sleep, or not even that, while, before the wolves. But
Constitution.
10, exactly. Okay, so Cass, you're tired, but you that dwarven toughness gets you through, and you do not take levels of exhaustion. Okay, so the day comes, you all awake as normal. Here you sit, I'm going to say a few hundred yards from where Thorin was burned, right in the same place where you fought the wolves and had dreams. What would you like to do?
Okay, am I back to full health then?
Yes,
Because I
everyone
did
has a long
rest.
rest except for Ash.
Real quick. before everybody like started stirring or whatever, and if Ash noticed that Cass was also awake doing the journaling thing, I would say that at some point before everybody woke up, that Ash probably got up from their post of the tree and said, "I'll be right back." I want to say that Ash walks over to where the pyre was at and probably like gets out some kind of cloth bag and takes a bit of the ashes and puts them in there and puts that in his bag or their bag. Sorry.
Yeah.
It just dawned on me. Sorry.
No, that's all good. Yeah, Ash, you walk over, you reach down and you touch the ashes, drawing them into your hands. And as you do, you have a flash of a vision. You are kneeled down, your hand reached out, and all of a sudden, your hand is in about 1.5 inches of water. And you are kneeled down over an endless inky void. And just on the other side of some barrier that you cannot really see, you see Thorin swimming, trying to reach you before he is sucked away, and then the vision fades.
Damn, you got me anyway, didn't you? Jesus.
Nice.
Hey, listen. Actually, that's not what I had in store for you. That was off the dome, baby.
That's right.
I'm like a snake. You give me opportunity, I'm gonna fucking strike, baby.
Fair enough.
Did y'all notice what he's doing?
I said several hundred yards. This is in the early morning. You only have 60 feet of dark vision. Make a perception check with disadvantage.
Yeah, like I said, whenever I went to walk away, I did
9.
like kind of look at Cass and be like, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I think with a 9, that she gets far enough away that you went off somewhere, and comes back a few minutes later. All right.
Yeah, that's all I wanted out of that. Sorry.
It's daytime in Barovia, baby. What do you do?
It's always cloudy in Barovia.
That was a good one.
I think I'm going to go ahead and just put away my tent.
Of course.
Yeah,
And-
say Ash kind of goes around helping everybody break up whatever camp they've made.
I will specifically request that he only helps with the steaks, and that's it.
I'm good at steak duty. I got you.
I love it.
Yeah, Wanderous wakes up, shakes himself, stands up, walks around the fire a little bit, looks up and around, and probably sighs deeply when he sees the cloudiness, and looks over at the rest of the group and says, "What do we do now?"
If I remember correctly, the wonderful lady that we met last night said that there was a priest that may know something about something. I'm going to be honest. It's been a couple weeks, folks. I actually don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't
Remember? Okay. I think there was something about we needed to talk to the priest at the church. That's where we were headed when we seen the ghosts last night, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, I know it's been like a month and a half since we played. You guys talked to Granny Patsy and asked if there was any place to bury Thorin.
Right.
She told you that there was a graveyard on the northwest side of town, but that not all was well there. You headed that direction and saw the procession of stuff. So as far as I remember, she told you that like there were issues there, and then you saw a bunch of like ghostly green figures marching out into the road from because this is like the middle of the night. And so yeah, you can choose to go back there. I think your only reason really for going there, unless you just want to investigate the shenanigans, was burying Thorin. But
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought there was something going on where the way it was worded, I see the connection now, but like the way it was worded said the priest was having some issues of his own.
Yeah, and the priest is having
That
issues
would
of his
be-
own. Yeah. And yeah, like you guys can certainly choose to go investigate
Okay.
that. there's other stuff in the town of Barovia you can investigate. There's, on your way through town, you probably noticed in the distance, there's like a tavern, there's a general store. There was some weird person crying, although you've had bad luck with following people into buildings in Barovia. And then, you can go investigate the church. Let me go ahead and pull you onto the map of Barovia, and we'll pop over here for the viewers at home. Boom. Oh, that's not, I don't want Barovia. I want the village of Barovia. Kaboom. Okay. There we go. So, you guys would be coming back into town probably from like this direction somewhere, or you're kind of north. Honestly, the church is the first thing you're going to come through.
Okay.
You can either choose to come in from like the north and go around it, or you can come in from kind of the northwest and come kind of under it. Also, everybody, please take note of our shiny new party token. Oh, that's the old party token. Hang on.
Oh,
I have a shiny new party token. Yeah, it does. Not for long. Got a shiny new party token I made and forgot to put in here. I want everyone to see it. There it is. Look at our shiny new party token. Hooray. Okay. Anyway, back to normal size. Bloop. There you go. Okay, so what do you guys want to do? You're coming back into Barovia from the north and or northwest. Like I said, there's a tavern kind of in the center of town. There's some crying from the southern end of town. There's a general store. Most of the houses here are like boarded up and like extremely unfriendly looking.
Imagine that.
But you could go up to any random house you want as well. That's an option. Maybe you just want to like try to meet the people of Barovia. The streets are very quiet. There's like nobody walking around.
Catch the local scene.
Yeah.
See some local bands,
Yeah. I don't know. Do you guys just want to head straight to the church?
I would like to know if those ghosts do that every night and what it means and what that castle is and where are we? I would like answers, and we aren't getting any among ourselves.
Maybe the best place to start is with the priest then. One does have to wonder though, to our new friend, now that you said you spent all this time trying to get here, you're here. What now?
I don't know. I'm waiting to be guided where to go next.
Let's see.
It's all so strange, and forgive me, but you're strange. I don't understand. So who led you here? Why were you led here?
That is a long story, and I'm honestly still trying to figure it out myself. I felt, a call to the dark. Thank you. So I'm trying to find that and vanquish it.
Wanderers is going to look at all four of the people. Are we all pretty much standing there?
Yeah, I would say so. Might get whiplash looking up and down, but.
And Wanderer says, what now?
No, go ahead.
Wanderer says, I have been sent on a quest by my tribe that if I am to qualify as a possible shaman or leader of my tribe, there are some things that I have to accomplish in the world. And so I set out to do that, and I stumbled into the midst of you all, And he points towards Onyx and Ash. And I joined you because we were lost in the woods together in an odd place. Before I go further, I need to know exactly why each of us is here and what it is we think we need to accomplish here. Or are we just wandering around from one place to another? You know why I'm here. I have to meet some qualifications for my tribe in the world. Why are you here? And he's going to look at each one of them.
So, Ash will say, if you'd asked me this 24 hours ago, I would have told you that me and Thorn we're trying our best to make our names as monster hunters and paranormal investigators, and this was our big break. And now with him gone, the only thing I can think of is I have to know why it's like this here. And I would really love to find out who's made it this way.
Yes. Yes, I think I agree with you, Ash, and I join you in that. Onyx, why did you agree to travel with us?
I mean,
You didn't really have a choice.
I was honestly just looking for my mentor. He's gone off somewhere, and this is the longest he's been away, and he hasn't been back in the days that he said he would be. So I'm just trying to look for him. That's all I'm really trying to do right now.
What are the chances you think that he came here?
Honestly, I'm not
so
sure.
You were searching for someone. Well, what about you, Cass? You say that
Yes.
some force has led you here?
Yeah, so I never really had much of a family growing up. I was abandoned by my parents because I was born under a dark star. And ever since childhood, I've felt drawn to the dark. I felt drawn to do evil. So I became a paladin as a follower of Torm. And I'm trying to find balance between the light and the dark. And, you know, the pull to the dark brought me here. And I feel like here I can find a way to, you know, break the curse I was born with.
I see. So you want to make a change in yourself. I
Yeah.
can agree with that because if I am successful in meeting my qualifications, I too will make a change within myself. So we are seekers. We are all seekers. Ash for success, Onyx for what is lost, me for what I must find, and you for what is in yourself at the deepest level. I think those are things that we can cling to, and I think those are things that can bring us together and help us to decide together what to do next. But we need more answers about this place. I agree. We should talk to the priest and to people in this town and try to find out where we have come to.
Alistair had said to Onyx, what do you think the chances are that your mentor ended up here?
I honestly don't know. All I knew is that he had to go after something or someone. I didn't really know. He just said he needed to go out for a certain amount of time, but he never did get back. So he could be here, he could be anywhere, but I mean, might as well start here since we're already here. So
I just want to touch on that. I know he had started to say something earlier. I'm definitely down to talk to the priest. I think that's as good a place to start as any. It's on our way.
Okay. Is that the consensus?
Excellent.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
All right. You guys begin to make your way towards the chapel, church. So as you approach, you kind of come down around the bottom of this hill and begin your way up. Atop a slight rise against the roots of the stone pillar that support Castle Ravenloft stands a gray, sagging edifice of stone and wood. This church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises toward the back, and you can see that the shingle roof has holes. The rafters strain feebly against their load. And as you approach, you see the heavy wooden doors of the church are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire. Now I'm going to move us onto the church. Bloop. Okay, I'm assuming you guys can't see anything.
Correct.
Bloop. What about now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Something down here
About
towards the
now?
bottom.
What about... Nope, that's not the right one. What about now?
Yeah, I see it.
Yep, I see it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so these are the doors of the church. Can you can't, okay. And they're heavy, and you can tell that these things have been like burned and clawed and are extremely weathered and like patched up and stuff.
Okay. Well, I guess let's push one of these bad boys open and see if Priesty boy's home.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So who's touching the door?
Well, Wanderers will step right up there unless somebody stops him.
Okay. All right, Wandress, you push on the door. It opens to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. Even in the daytime, lights are lit here. The hall, however, so the chapel is brightly lit. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. You can see 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, leading to adjacent chambers. You see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice from within reciting a prayer. Suddenly, the prayer is blotted out by an inhuman scream that rises up from beneath the floor.
Y'all, I heard that from the other room. That freaked me out worse than this. Sorry.
What do you do?
God. Jesus, dude.
That was wow.
Whew. Yeah,
I think
let me
that-
up here.
I think that Wanderous rushes forward. Wanderous is going to rush into the middle of the debris closer to where the person is, probably going to dash right up to the person
Yeah, definitely.
and say, what is happening? What is that? What happened here?
Yeah, so the chapel, you can see, is in shambles. Is everyone else walking in or just Wandress?
I'm walking then.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and move yourselves. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm just going to pull out my spell book just in case.
Okay.
But
Yeah, so you all rush in. The chapel is a shambles, overturned, broken pews, just littering the dusty floors. You can see dozens of candles mounted in candlesticks, and candelabras light every dusty corner. It seems that there's so much light in here that there's scarcely a shadow to be found. At the far end of the church sits a claw-scarred altar, behind which kneels a priest in soiled vestments. I gotta go find this guy. Stand by. Okay. You see a sort of pale individual with a rounded red nose, hair sort of slicked back, dark still on top, but with kind of poofs out on the side of sort of grayish, ragged hair. And he is kneeling at the altar. Next to him hangs a long, thin rope that stretches up into the bell tower. And you hear, as you rush in, this individual sort of like starts and hears the sound beneath, and you see a pained expression cross his face as he turns and looks at all of you. And before he can respond, you hear another voice, a young man's voice, cry out, "Father, please! I'm starving!"
What's going on here?
What he said.
The man turns and you see deep sadness on his face. He says, "It is my son. I have locked him in the basement of the church."
Why would you lock your son in the basement?
He tried. He tried to fight the Devil Strahd. Some time ago there was some fool wizard came to our lands. He promised that he could defeat him. So, my idiot boy and several other villagers, they went to the castle on the hill. And as a way of reminding us that this is Barovia, Strahd sent him back. Sort of.
Strahd.
You must be new here.
Very much so.
Yep, been here for about 24 hours.
Strahd von Zarvich is a vampire. He dwells in Castle Ravenloft. No one is welcome at the castle. He is a curse placed on this land because of the sins of our fathers.
What sort of sins were committed to deserve all of this?
No one is alive who now remembers them.
I take it that your son has
He thirsts for blood. Day and night he screams. I kneel here and I pray. I pray for the knowledge of how to save him without destroying him. But the Morning Lord is silent. He does not. If he hears my prayers, he does not answer. Father, please! I'm hungry!
how's he stayed alive all this time if unless he's being fed?
What can kill the undead? Hunger does not kill them. Makes them weaker, yes, that's how we trap him down there. You will not die. You could be killed. But I don't have the strength to do it.
Does Ash have any sort of knowledge on vampires, would you say?
Yeah.
Obviously level 2.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, go ahead and make a... I'm just going to history check, intelligence check with proficiency, whatever you got. If you have some like investigator stuff though, if you have like expertise or whatever, make an investigation.
I do have the...
Because I think that's like your monster hunter thing. Like it's kind of...
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what I'll use for, like, knowledge, unless it's more specifically arcana or something, but I think in this case, 17. Yeah, with a 17, I think you know some general things about vampires. I think you know vampire spawn exists. They're people who are killed and turned. You know that they are, like, bound to obey their vampire master. You know that... they burn in the sunlight. They don't like running water. You know, that they're generally extremely powerful. You know, a single vampire spawn would probably, like, the stories you've heard, like, they're not as strong as master vampires, but, like, they would probably tear your party a new asshole. Like, that is some dangerous shit. Yeah, I think that's a 17.
Okay, well, the two questions I would have specifically, and if I get them out of this roll, is do I know how to kill them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, let's take a look.
I'm assuming it's your run-of-the-mill kind of stuff, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you know that vampire spawn, I think, are easier to kill than yeah. Yeah, I think you know that hang on, I gotta... Yeah, so yeah, stake to the heart kills them, but you know that they generally have to be killed in their resting place. So like if you just attack so you know that they like master vampires are known to like transform into bats or wolves or mist. Like it's the lore is not super clear, but they have ways of like escaping, right? And so most people recommend trying to stake them like during the day in their resting place. Or if you can fight one and like make it flee, it has to return to its resting place. That's like the lore that you've heard, right? But it has to be like incapacitated, basically. Mechanically in D&D, it's got to be incapacitated and then staked.
Got it. And then my only other question, I don't want to take up all the time here. I feel like I'm being the forerunner here. Do I know if there's any sort of cure for this specific kind of thing? Like obviously Master Vampire is a totally different deal, but like, is there a cure for the priest's son? Do I know of one?
Yeah. Hang on. I would say on a 17, no, you don't.
Okay, that's fair. I was curious.
Yeah.
Wanderers is just stunned. He's practically standing there with his mouth open, looking at the devastation in the church. And when he hears the priest say vampire, his eyes swivel around to the priest, and he's just looking at him, and he says, your son is undead? If so, would it not be the greater mercy to kill him?
You see his face sort of like breaks a little bit when you say that, and he says, I don't know, it haunts me every day. But I cannot bear to kill my boy. He's my son.
Is there no one here that knows of a cure?
I don't understand.
If you think I knew of anyone who had a glimmer of a cure, I would be here on my knees, begging a god that does not listen. No. But it is all I have.
So why do you think that is, though? Because because I've noticed a disconnection between like myself and my deity since I've been in this place. Why do you think that that is? Is he that powerful?
This land is cursed. Before the curse of Strahd befell the land, the Morning Lord watched over the Barovian people from sunrise until sundown. And now the sun has not shone unobscured for centuries. The Morning Lord no longer answers our prayers. The presence of Mother Night sometimes still can be felt between dusk and dawn. Even nighttime prayers, however, go unanswered. She has forsaken the Barovian people, sent the devil's rod to punish us for our ancestors' offenses.
When we walked through here last night, we saw ghosts leave the graveyard and go to the castle. Does that happen every night?
Yes. Spirits rise along the old Svalich road and make their way toward Castle Ravenloft in the dead of night. These phantoms are all that remain of Strahd's enemies. That fate awaits anyone who opposes him. Sometimes
no
adventurers like yourselves are drawn to this land. They all disappear before long.
You say a wizard came? What happened to him?
Strahd killed him, just like he killed my boy. And all the others.
Did you know this wizard? Do you know his name?
No. I would not meet with him. I told the others to ignore his foolishness. They did not listen.
You say Strahd killed him like he did your son. Does that mean that wizard is an undead?
If it is so, I have never seen it. I don't know.
Did anyone besides your son come back?
Yes. But the others were not so lucky. Each one of them returned to their joyful families. Killed them in the night, tore them limb from limb, drank their blood, and then left to wander Barovia as far as I know. Cursed with a hunger they cannot sate.
So you say the undead then wander this country from end to end?
I do not go from end to end in this country. But I know nowhere is safe. Well, they say that perhaps hang on, I gotta look something up. Sorry, stand by. Remember, they say that
Okay, I
perhaps
lost everybody.
Uh-oh. Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Do you hear us?
Hey.
Bonus bomb.
Okay, yes. I
Okay,
can
sorry
now.
about that. They say that the walled town of Valaki is safer than here. And all the
How do
way
you get
across
there?
the valley, the town of Kretsk, the old abbey of St. Markovia, they say it is safe there as well, but I would not know. As for how you get there, follow the old Svalich road to the west. Cross the Ivlis River. Cross it again. Up. Valaki is just south of Lake Zarovich to the north. The old Svalich road will take you right there. And then you follow it further past Lake Baratok and the Raven River. And before the end of the valley on the other side, you will find Kretsk. It is maybe a day's travel. I don't know.
So, I know you said that Strahd is a curse that's been put on this land. Shortly after we came into town, we were drawn into a house by, honestly, I'm not sure exactly what it is that drew us in there. But after we kind of explored the house, we found this letter, and I'd like to share it with them. It's the handout that says Strahd's letter.
Okay.
It seems that Strahd wrote this and sent it to whoever was the guy that lived in the house. And
Okay.
let's see.
Strahd's letter.
Yeah, it's handout for me, it's like under Appendix B, Death House.
Appendix B, Death House. That's an interesting spot for that to live.
There actually might be one here. What's this one?
Intro to Appendix B, Death House. Handout. Strahd's letter. There it is. Okay, so you want to show him Strahd's letter.
Yeah.
Okay, from the house. And see what he
Yeah.
makes of that.
Yeah.
What?
In the bottom of this house, there was an altar, and we definitely ran into some issues down there with some spirits that seem to be cultists. And actually, post Death House, this makes a bit more sense to me, but you don't think that somebody here in Barovia tried to summon Strahd directly here, do you?
He comes and goes as he pleases. You do not summon Strahd except by your own foolishness. I don't know what to make of it. The house is evil. That much we know.
That wins understatement of the year.
Yeah.
But you are saying that the reason that this whole place is the way that it is, the reason that that house was the way that it is because Strahd is here. He's the one that causes all this.
I don't know if he is the symptom or the cause. This land is cursed. Perhaps he cursed it himself to make it his own bloody playground. Perhaps someone cursed us with him for sins we now no longer remember. I truly, I do not know. I do not know. How came you to this place? Wait. You mentioned the house. You did not go in the house. You are alive.
Oh, we went in the house. That's how I got this letter. That's how I had all this information that I just gave you.
Oh, I'm sorry. In my distress, I did not pay attention as I should have. You survived the house. We had noticed that it burned down. It does that from time to time. But always it come back.
From time to time.
Yes. Sometimes we burn it down. But it never sticks.
That is truly unfortunate to hear.
I cannot believe you survived. He looks at the gnome in the distance and says, You survived the death house.
Define survive.
I don't really know what happened, to be honest. I don't really remember, honestly. And it's just a blur.
Well,
We lost someone in the death house, but we were able to, by that loss, we do know about this, don't we? Did Nash tell us? Let me double check here out of game.
I think that I did mention it to Wondrous. I don't know if Onyx was quite awake yet when I explained it. I don't even remember how much detail I went in. But to be fair, like, I don't know a ton either, right? Like, I just know that.
Do we know that we set those children, that the children's souls were set free? Do we know that, DM?
Thinking back, I believe, I think Thorin said, I can save them. Ash said, we already saved them. Thorin said, no, we didn't, but I can save them. And
then Thornbolt yelled, like, part of his
they can get me out, right?
Yeah. So
you know that the kid said they can get me out. You don't know who they are, but that getting out is a thing that could happen. Whatever out means, and you know that Thorin said he could save them. Those are the things you know. Draw what conclusions your character would draw with that information.
Okay. I'm going to back off of that and not say it.
Okay.
I don't think Wanderers would know enough to know how to verbalize that.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good.
I was just going to say, as I probably walk up, I would ask if, like, because nobody else aside from me knows what my mentor looks like. Would I be able to describe him to the priest?
Yeah, you would.
Okay. I'll go up. You mentioned a wizard. Does this description sound familiar to you? And I'll go ahead and describe
Okay.
him.
And you had sent me a description of him at some point, I believe. Yes?
I believe so. Yes.
Let's see if Pixel was smart enough to have made a handout out of that. I don't know. I did. Okay, hang on, friends. People at home, don't watch this. Shh. Shh. Okay. Everything's fine. You can watch now. Yeah, you describe him and he looks like this. Let me make sure I didn't. Yeah, I don't have it in there. You can. Okay.
Oh my lord, it's Gandalf.
Yeah, so you describe, you say Gandalf, he actually is a little bit more of a Radagast type of a figure, if Onyx's description. And that's the best I could do, sorry. But he has sort of an unkempt beard. He's like a wizard, but he has this kind of like nature vibe. He wears brown robes. Fur is incorporated into a lot of his gear. He has this sort of staff that is made out of this like, it's like mossy wood almost with this green orb on the top of it. And you ask if the wizard was your mentor?
Yeah, I asked the priest if the wizard was my mentor.
Okay. So what exactly do you say? So like, do you like, you say you mentioned a wizard. Did he look anything like this? Is that how like, or,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Does this description sound familiar?
Okay. He sort of cocks his head and looks at you and says, "Yes, that is what he looked like. Do you know this man?"
Yes, he taught me the ways of magic.
He taught you the ways of magic.
Yes.
Get out of my church. Please go.
And I'll just go.
Wandix will immediately move to follow Onyx, but he turns back and looks at the priest and he says, "Your God did answer you, and you do know what you need to do. You're just choosing not to. You know what you need to do." And he's going to follow Onyx out of the church.
The old priest begins to weep.
Wanderers does not look back.
All right. Come on, Cass.
Yep.
And you turn to leave the church.
Oh, Lord.
The old man kneels back down at the altar, weeping and mumbling in prayer.
Okay.
All right, gang, where to next?
That was a happy little side mission.
Well.
So let's pop back to the village of Barovia. Kaboom. You guys are in the top left there at the church. Sorry, Ozzy, go ahead. Ozzy. You guys are in the wrong places again. My bad. Farther than me, everybody. Okay, fixed now. I think I had that wrong for a really long time, even though you guys told me to fix it. My apologies. I thought I fixed it and I didn't fix it. Anyway, Onyx. What were you going to say?
Yeah. I'll let the group know that I'll be like, I just need a moment to, I guess, process this for a bit. You guys can go on ahead. I'll catch up.
Are you sure?
No, Onyx, I don't think you should be alone. I don't think we should be separate in this evil place. It's a description. You don't know until you would happen to see this wizard. You had no indication your wizard was coming here, Onyx. You don't really know anything.
Just as a quick little recap in the background, did he say what, if he knew what, did the priest say anything about if he knew what happened to the wizard.
So he said that the wizard came to, basically like you guys surmised from that conversation, the wizard came to town, talked to a group of villagers, managed to convince them that they could go fight and kill Strahd.
Right.
And then the wizard basically hasn't been seen or heard from since.
Okay.
And a bunch of the townspeople came back to town as vampire spawn.
Right.
The priest trapped his son in the basement somehow. The rest of the vampires went back to their former dwellings and ate their families.
Right. I was just curious. I couldn't remember specifically if he had said if he knew what would happen to the wizard.
Yeah, I think he said that he said he killed him just like he did my boy. Wandress said, wait, so the wizard is a vampire spawn now? And the priest basically said it was a figure of speech. We haven't heard. I don't know if that's what happened or not,
right.
but that he's presumed dead. So that is the information you have at your disposal. Okay, so Onyx said that he wanted some alone time. Wandress said, not on my watch. What's next, gang? How does that play out?
I mean, I definitely think we're stronger in numbers, and we're definitely safer in the day.
I think that Ash would probably say something along the lines of, we don't know what happened to him. If he's not even been seen, there's a chance that he could still be alive. And I think that this honestly answers the exact question I was just asking you before we went in there of, we know that he came here. So now we kind of have a lead, right? We know that he went to the castle and confronted this Strahd person. Should we ask around town and see if anybody else knows anything? I think it's a terrible idea. As much as I'm ready to go kick that guy in the proverbial privates, I don't think we're quite ready for that without a ton more information.
No, definitely not.
Definitely don't think we're strong enough for that.
To me, it was obvious that the priest blames the wizard for what happened to his son. So I think that's why the priest reacted to Onyx like he did. And I don't think we can trust the emotion of the priest. Emotions are such a new thing to me. Onyx, we don't really know anything. Yes, we should talk to more people. Maybe someone knew the priest's name. If you were looking for me and you told it what a furbolg like me looks like by a description, and anybody had ever seen a furbolg, they would tell you, yes, that is the one. But it might not be me.
That is true. But I do think that if there's even a chance that that could have been him, that it's worth our time investigating and seeing if we can get a definite on that.
I agree.
I think that I know that specifically me and Wondrous are probably more than happy to help you find him if he's here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, no offense to Cass. Very, very recent addition to the party.
Oh no, you're fine.
You hear distant wails from the undercroft of the church.
Yeah, I say we move away from this place as soon as possible.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it'd be worth maybe checking out some of the other towns that he talked about?
I mean, this is the closest town, as far as I'm aware, to the castle. I think we should just try to investigate around here for a bit and try to figure out what's going on. See, I guess, like, who that wizard is.
Yeah, if he was recruiting townspeople, it stands to reason that he probably went to the tavern first.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody there knows something. And we can at least, I say before we move on, that's definitely what we want to do. And I don't know about y'all, but the more information that we can gather on this Strahd guy, then the better off we'll be as well. Because, like the priest said, he doesn't know if he's the reason or the rhyme, but we do know that he is at least a big player in what's going on here.
Yeah.
I agree.
You guys cool with maybe checking out the tavern then? I think that makes the most sense.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Onyx,
Very good. Oh, sorry.
I won't interfere with you, Onyx, but I don't think we should leave you alone.
No, I appreciate it.
If he's here, we'll find him.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys are heading for the excuse me. You guys are headed for the tavern, yes?
Yes.
Okay, it's
Wouldn't hurt to get some breakfast anyway.
yeah, it's a pretty straight shot. Directly down the road, leading away from the church, takes you to the town square, such as it is. And you can kind of see a single shaft of light thrusts illumination onto the main square of Barovia. Its brightness looking something like a solid pillar in the heavy fog. Above the gaping doorway of this tavern, a sign hangs precariously askew, proclaiming this to be the Blood of the Vine Tavern. What would you like to do?
Let's go on in.
I need a drink.
Wanderers just keeps his eye on Wanderers and doesn't follow right directly behind him, but he's going to follow whatever Onyx does.
Okay. Yeah, so there's not really a map for this place to put you guys on. This tavern building is about 60 feet square as you enter. You can see there is a blazing fire in the hearth that is kind of eking out some scant warmth to the few souls huddled within here. You can see a barkeep. You can see three individuals, Ash, who look similarly attired to the individuals who initially kind of gave you the quest. That gave you the letter that you and Thorin got in that tavern before you came here. You can see that they are dressed, they're basically like in this extremely bright clothing. They almost look like kind of carnival workers. And you can see that like in a really jarring kind of like transition from the absolute just dourness of everything that's been going on since you arrived here. You can see that these couple of individuals, there's about three of them in the corner. They're just sort of like chatting and drinking some wine and just sort of like jovially, existing there. And just like the idea of a chuckle is like really out of character from everything that's happened recently. And they're sort of just like talking and kind of laughing.
None of them look like the guy that gave me the letter, though, right? I mean, they do, but it's not like specifically the guy, right?
Right, correct. Yeah, so you can see there is a human man, bald head, green eyes, has kind of tan skin. He's pretty short, it looks, and kind of just slim built, but he has a kind of round face. You see an older wood elf woman, kind of with cropped hair, sort of a little bit of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a one long tuft of hair off of the rest of it is coming out from under like a brightly colored cap, and the hair appears to be bright pink. And her skin kind of has like a faint greenish hue. You can see long ears coming out from the hat as well. And then you see a dwarf woman, kind of short, wavy gray hair, Golden tan skin, about 4 foot tall. And she has some like elaborate kind of like face paint on.
Okay.
And so no, none of them look like the individual, because the individual that you met was a like human man with a kind of bushy beard, in like a jester cap, basically, I think is how I described him. So
Yeah. I was just curious. I mean, you said they look similar.
And you can kind of, because like everyone else you've seen has been in these like extremely drab clothes. Like the kids, the ghosts of the kids were
noble stuff.
Yeah, were like nobles attire, but it was still dour colors, like dark blues and grays and like blacks with just like a little bit of ornament to it. The priest was in like all black robes, and like the streets are like there's very little going on, but occasionally you do catch a glimpse of somebody like furtively moving from one place to another, and they're all dressed in just extremely like drab clothing, browns and grays and blacks and dark blues, and very little like gold or silver or ornamentation or embroidery or anything like that, as opposed to these folks who are in like this just kind of extremely jarring, like Technicolor, like carnival attire, basically, like entertainers, basically bards. And
my last question in regards to this then would be, did the guy mention his name when he was like there?
He did not. No.
Okay.
I don't believe that individual ever really introduced himself. I think when he showed up, he said, "My master has bid me come and give you this." Let me go check my notes and see. I think I wrote down exactly what he said.
Yeah, there's this on this letter. It's signed by a Kolyan Indirovich.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if that was that guy or not.
Right. No. So the letter from Kolyan Indirovich, and you actually have 2 letters signed from Kolyan Indirovich, don't you?
Yeah, the real one and the fake one that we were handed.
The one they gave you was the fake one. The handwriting is totally different, and neither, like, you would guess that Kolyan Indirovich is the guy's master, except the fake letter leads you to believe that like maybe someone was impersonating, whoever was impersonating Kolyan might be the guy's master. It's a little unclear.
Okay. Gotcha.
And you guys enter, and then those are not the only occupants. So there's the 3 individuals in the sort of like entertaining attire. You also can see there is a barkeeper who is standing behind the bar, just like listlessly washing a glass and putting it down and moving on to the next one. And then there is a young man sitting kind of by himself at a corner table, sipping wine. He has sort of a leather like vest. It's drab clothes like most of the other Barovians you've seen, but he has sort of like a leather vest over a brown shirt. He has blonde hair that kind of like falls just to his shoulders. And he looks like, stand by, I'll find him. He looks like this guy. Let me pop over so folks can see him. Okay. He looks like this. Blonde hair, kind of greenish gray eyes. And he is sitting by himself over in the corner. What do you all do as you enter?
I would say Ash goes directly to the bar for starters and orders a drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah. So the barkeep is kind of a pudgy little man. You can see, I don't think I have art for him. I do not. He's a pudgy little man, sort of mindlessly cleaning glasses. And you approach, what do you say?
Hello there.
Hello.
I trouble you for a drink, my good sir.
Yeah, sure can. Small glass of wine costs 1 copper. Pitcher costs a silver.
Yeah, so is wine all you got?
Yep. It's the lifeblood of Barovia.
I see.
From the
I
Wizard
would
of the
love-
Wine's winery. Oh, pass for lucky.
A pitcher sounds wonderful. I would love that.
Can do.
Wanders is hovering in the background and he doesn't seem interested in wine, but he does say, what was the name of the winery?
Wizards of the Wine's winery.
Wizards. We've been hearing about wizards today. We heard a wizard came here a while back. Did you meet him?
Nope.
Do you know who we're talking about?
Nope.
Is there any way to inside check this?
Wanderers.
Yeah, sure.
Questions.
Yeah, go ahead. And anyone that wants to can make an insight check.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to get on top of you, Wonders, but the short
No,
and clear
that was
answer.
just the end of Wanderers. He just hushed after that.
I'll rip.
Got a 10 and a 9. I don't think it really takes higher than a 10. Ash, you're still kind of shaken up, I guess, from stuff that's going on. You're never, but Cass, you're trying to read this guy. He's just very standoffish, does not seem to be too keen on making conversation.
Tell you what, man, I'll have a gallon of your finest mead and you can have a gallon for yourself if you're willing to just sit here and talk with us for a bit.
Ain't got no mead, just wine.
Well, I'll take your wine. Offer
And
still stands.
seeing you guys kind of run up against this extremely unfriendly bartender, the man in the corner stands up and says, hello, friends.
Friends?
Well, friends I haven't met yet. Don't mind Eric. He's a bit of a bear. The drinks are on me, sir. Okay. And he sort of like motions you guys like that he wants you to come sit with him.
What y'all
I will
thinking?
take my pitcher of wine and go sit with my guest.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I grew up with dwarves, okay?
Wanderers follows
Wait.
the crowd over.
Wait, were you saying that like out loud?
No, Trish was saying that.
No. Oh.
No, I didn't say that out loud.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so does everyone go over and sit with him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
for my
guess
drink,
I will.
what's what else
Yeah.
do you do?
In Barovia, nothing. That's all there is to do. Well, hello. My name is Mark Kolyanovich.
Pleasure. And kind of nods, and I'm Ash.
Nice to meet you, Ash. He sort of looks kind of expectantly at everyone else.
My name is
Cass.
Wanderers.
Wondrous.
I'm. Oh, go ahead.
I'm Onyx.
He nods at you, Onyx.
And I'm Cass.
Wonderful. Well, as I said, I'm Ismar Kolyanovich. You all must be new.
Something like that.
Every so often we get new folks around here. How, pray tell, did you all end up here?
I think Ash would probably give the same story that they gave the priest, and there was a gentleman that came into a tavern that me and my brother were having a drink at, and offered up a contract and said it was here. And that's when we ran into kind of the rest of the. Well, that's when I ran into Wondrous and Onyx, and next thing I knew, we were here.
Contract, you say?
And as a matter of fact, the gentleman who delivered this letter specifically to me and my brother looks an awful lot like, and without kind of saying it out loud, actually going to jerk their head back towards the table of the peacock squad.
Oh, yes. The Vistani. They're an interesting bunch. They run a festival. I don't know how anyone can find any sort of reason to celebrate here, but, well, more power to them, I suppose. I'm sorry, a contract, you say? Do you mind if I take a look?
Kind of in between gulps of wine that Ash has taken, they're going to hand out, just kind of thrust the letter out.
1 second, y'all. Bonus Mom, I'm going to throw you a charger for your phone.
Everybody's been chat simping over this random NPC. I mean, listen, I get it.
Okay, sorry, you show him the letter?
Yeah, like I said, just kind of pounding down this wine currently, and in between gulps, gonna kind of thrust it out.
Yeah, he looks at it and says, "Oh, Kolyan Indirovich is my father. That's not his handwriting.
What do you mean?
I mean, he didn't write that letter."
Yeah, we kind of figured that out, and I'm gonna bring the other letter out. Not too long after we got into town, we got drawn into a house just off the east side, and this letter was in there. I'm assuming this may be the actual letter.
That is my father's handwriting. Where did you get this?
The priest called it the death house. I think he said that out loud, correct?
That's not where you got that.
Oh, sorry.
That's the one you found on the dead body that was killed, you think, by wolves or some other wild animals near the gates of Barovia?
My bad. Okay.
Yeah, all good.
So I just told this man a blatant lie by accident.
Well, I mean, if you want to retcon, because you would know, it happened like yesterday.
Yeah.
You've had a busy day, but maybe not that busy.
Been a busy couple months for the record, but yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. We found this on a body coming into town near the gates.
So he's dead then.
I'm sorry to be the bearer of the bad news on that one.
Oh, if you're bearing news in Barovia, only one way it can be. Well, my apologies, but my father is dead.
Sorry to hear that.
Yes. He died just a few nights ago, actually.
Excuse me, what?
He died just a few nights ago? You say you were in the death house and survived.
All but one.
Sorry to hear that. But still, that is impressive.
If you'd seen it from the other side, I don't think you'd say that.
Oh,
So
we've seen the leavings of the death house many times.
So you said you and your brother were on a contract? Like, what kind of work did you guys do?
We were trying to start up a monster hunting business, paranormal investigation, tracking monsters, that sort of thing.
Well, that sounds right up my alley.
We thought it was up ours too.
Well, I like hunting monsters and smiting evil, so why let it die with your brother?
So what do you think that your father was trying to get this message out of Barovia, correct?
Yes. I mean, you've been here for a day. How much do you know of this place?
We talked to a priest this morning that said that the land was cursed and that someone named Strahd is kind of the big problem.
Yeah. Does anyone not have inspiration currently?
I don't.
Yeah, I think Bonus Mom had said that she didn't have it.
Okay. Someone asked in chat. So yeah, he says that's about the long and short of it. Strahd is a curse. This town is what it is because of him. We sit in his gaze. None can stand against him. But the fact that you survived the house. Impressive. What are your plans here? And I'll be frank, I ask because perhaps you can help me.
I think whenever he asks about the what we're doing here now, I think that Ash would look at Onyx. He may know something.
Do you know of a wizard that may have come through recently?
Oh, yes. Terrible business, that. I've been training my whole life to one day confront the devil Strahd, but, well, I didn't fancy their chances. The wizard seemed like he knew what he was doing, but alone against the devil himself? The townspeople are worse than useless, honestly. Nothing more than fodder, and the idea that he would take them with him, I don't know, but... Yes, the wizard came through. How do you... You spoke to Donovich, yes? Poor bastard.
Did you get a name for the wizard? Did he say who he was?
I never rightly heard, no. Well,
Do you
sorry.
know what happened to him?
They tried to storm the castle. Rumor has it there was a terrible fight, magic splitting across the sky. Amongst everything else, Strahd is a wizard in his own right. They did magical battle, I presume, and, well, Strahd is still here, but no one's heard from the wizard again. So, but what did you say your purpose was here now?
I think we...
Well,
go ahead.
we stumbled in here. I don't think we had a purpose. We were in the woods, and then we woke up and we were here. And we've been trying to find out what here is ever since we got here.
see.
Our visiting friend is looking for his mentor, and the priest gave when given the description, the priest said that this was the same man. So we're trying to gather more information on that currently. Past that, like Wonder said, what we came in with one purpose, and now we're not even sure.
I see.
You said that we could help you with something, though.
Yes, indeed. I most folk know the generalities of Strahd and his hold on this land, what it means to be what he is, I suppose, enough to try to keep themselves safe, although it's only but so effective. But lately he has been behaving strangely. I don't know what his obsession is, but he seems to be fixated on my sister, Irina.
That's who your father wrote about in his letter?
Yes. Let's see what he said.
It was in the actual.
My dear
one,
Irina too languishes and dies from an unholy wound. He looks at the letter and says, "Yes, that is what he is referring to. He's been fixated on her. He sent his wolves to our door night after night, howling, trying to break it down. He cannot enter without invitation, but he dissembles and seeks to trick someone into inviting him inside. My poor father. His heart couldn't take the strain any longer.
What would we help you with?
I would like to take her from this place under the view of that castle." And he sort of like nods his head in the direction of Castle Ravenloft and says, "There is no place in all Barovia that is more under his thumb than here. So I have heard."
Why did he pick here, though?
It's right under his nose, practically. He rules it by measure of proximity, I suppose. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
And I have heard that perhaps Valaki or Kretsk, farther to the west, are less directly under his purview. Perhaps she will be safe there, but I know she's not safe here. And I am seeking individuals who might accompany us on our way. And, well, if you've survived the death house, you're certainly a cut above anyone else who has found their way here of late.
Well, I've not been to the death house.
Oh, count your blessings for that, my friend.
So, what say you?
If we were to do this, help you get your sister to a town that may or may not be safer, to speak plainly, what would be in it for us?
Well, Barovia is not a rich land. This town least of all. I'll speak plainly. I mean to one day kill Strahd.
Oh, don't
If
we
you-
all?
Well, do you, I suppose, then is the question. If you do, I would gladly accompany you. Lay down my life, should it be necessary. If you help me save my sister, I will follow you into the maws of that hell he calls home.
Strahd is truly the one who makes all the bad things happen here, or even if he just facilitates the evil that happens here, I can agree that he needs to go. And not only for all the people that live here, but for Thorin.
Was Thorin your brother?
Yes.
That's a dwarf name.
Step brother. Adopted brother. Or, you know.
Well, Ash, I thank you. What of the rest of you? I assume you cannot speak for the group.
And I will not leave the group. If they decide that this isn't something they want to do, I will stick with them.
I haven't known Onyx and Ash long, and Kaz almost not at all, but I will follow you. You will have my help.
He looks around at the rest of you.
I can help as much as I can.
There is a stipulation as well, I would like to point out. Before we leave this town, is there anybody that you would know that would have more information on the wizard that visited? I'm assuming that he spoke with, we got from the priest that he kind of rallied up some townspeople to go with him to the castle. Surely there's someone here that must have got a name or a better description.
Well, there is one I can think of, but you're not going to like it.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you've been to see Donovich, so I assume you know what's under the church.
That's fair.
As far as I know, he's the only one who had any extended contact with your wizard. Now, whether you can get an answer out of him, the gods, if they exist, only know.
If the rest of the group agrees to go with you, I will gladly try to help you save your sister. But we do need to find out if this is the man that we're looking for before we can leave here.
Understood. Well, if you're willing, I at least can take you to meet my sister. And we can figure it out from there, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I cannot thank you enough for even being willing to attempt this. Barovia is not a place of kindness or safety. Strangers are usually not to be trusted. So I thank you. I will
would
thank
say
you
that
more when we arrive at where we're going, yes?
Does make sense. I expect that the minimum resistance we'll meet will be as wolves. So we'll need to prepare for that and probably a lot more.
Yes, I mean, we are thwarting him in something he wants very badly, and I cannot stress enough how dangerous that is likely to be. And I think he stands as you all finish whatever drinks that you had and gestures for you to follow him as he steps towards the exit to the bar, leaving a payment for his tab, having paid for all of your drinks as well, on the table.
Well,
and as you
drinks, man.
And as you step out into the singular beam of sunlight that shines on the town square of Barovia, on your way to the burgomaster's mansion, that is where we are going to leave our session today.
Oh,
Holy cow, folks. Guys, we made it. We did it. We got a whole session. There was a little bit of technical trouble, but we did it.
thank God.
GG's, ladies and gentlemen. GG's.
Yes.
Cool. So we will be live with this again. We will not be on the 5th, so it will be the 19th of August due to vacation. So glad we got this one in because, boy, it would have been a long trek to the next one.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, it is what it is. We all got lives. Cool. Well, as usual, we are going to do our thing. If someone will help us find somebody to raid, by the way, thank you guys so much for hanging out. We are going to do our usual outro. So, golly gee, this fella below me, who are you? And where can we find you on the internet?
Is it below you? And is it me?
Below, it's Vincent. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, folks, I am Vincent Page. I do stream on Facebook, a variety of things, been playing all sorts of cool stuff. We're going to be playing that cat game tomorrow. I know you guys have seen it. The internet's riddled with it. I stream pretty much every day, so we'd love to see you over that way. Before I move on, I do want to thanks for hanging out through this. We did have technical difficulties. My internet is not stable at all. But I do want to get some hype in the chat for Pixel and Bonus Mom, who traveled all the way up here and to set up their entire rigs just to make this happen. Let's give it up. Super cool. I definitely was excited to get to play finally.
Yeah. Thank you. Omega, the real human, not the character. As we've established.
As the curse of choosing two O names. Hey, I'm Omega. You can find me on TikTok, OmegaMT42. Nothing special about the name. I will be making a video about a gift that I got from Bonus Mom. It was a kind of a little surprise, so I'll make that, and you can go ahead and check out what's in there. So thank you, and
Excellent.
Thank you again for sticking through all the technical difficulties.
Yeah. We do have links to everybody's socials there in the link dump as well, guys. Ozzy.
I'm Ozzy. I don't stream or make TikToks or anything cool like that. But yeah, happy we could finally play.
Excellent. And I forgot to mention who you guys are playing. So, Vincent, who are you playing tonight?
Ash Fireforge, the changeling rogue who has massive emotional trauma to get through. We've seen a little bit of that tonight. We've been a different character this session, friends.
And Omega, who are you playing tonight?
Hey y'all, I played Onyx Montarik tonight, and he is a Stone Gnome Bladesong Wizard.
Excellent. And Ozzy, who are you playing tonight?
I'm Cass Amblecrown, and don't worry, Vince. I have your cure to all of your emotional damage right here.
It is a doggo. And of course, Bonus Mom, both who are you and who did you play tonight? So who are you and who are you?
I am Bonus Mom, and I played Wanderers, a Circle of Stars at Furbolg Druid tonight, and my ears are so sore from these tiny little earplug things. I cannot stand it. I have been known to stream on TikTok and to do TikToks and to stream live on Twitch, but due to a faulty internet and lack of power due to Eastern Tennessee storms, I have done precious little of that recently. And that is my excuse. I hope to do more. Thank you. Bless you all, and hope to see you soon.
Awesome. And I am, of course, as always, Pixel. I'm on the internet, except when I'm not. You can find me at facebook.com/hammerandpixel. You can find me here on Twitch, DMing Ages of Ainor. You can also find us in our Ages of Ainor Discord, which has been growing leaps and bounds. It's been truly amazing. We have just an incredible group of folks getting together, centered mostly around our love for TTRPGs and Dungeons and Dragons, but there's a lot of stuff going on in that Discord all the time, and honestly, I can't keep up with most of it. So if you are interested, if you like what you saw tonight, and you're like, those guys seem fun, maybe we'd like to play with some of those folks. There's a whole lot of people like us in that Discord. Then you can literally get to play games with them, and sometimes they are literally me. and or bonus mom, or like we just run open games in the Discord. There are signups and everything, so hit that Discord link. Bloop.
It may be worth mentioning, friends, that not all D&D is so damn depressing.
This is Curse of Strahd, and I'm twisting some knives today, but we do a lot of stuff. It's not always so bad here. Anyway, guys, all joking aside, thank you for hanging out through the technical difficulties and the month-long absence because we couldn't stream because of everything and the weather and all that stuff. Thank you for hanging out for this silly thing that we do on Friday nights. It truly means more than we can say. Have you folks interested in our shenanigans? As always, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook, as well as in our Discord if you're interested in becoming a part of our little circle of folks who love TTRPGs and D&D. And each other. Anyway, I finally just want to leave you with a little request from me to you. Until the next time that I see you, please do me a favor and just be a little more kind to yourself than you think you deserve. Because I promise it still is not close to being more kindness than you actually deserve, friends. And then the last thing is please stick around for the raid. I think we are going to raid Level 50 Gaming, who is a community member, someone we know from the Yeet Fleet. So
you need the link, sir? You want me to grab that?
It's just Level 50 Gaming, yeah?
Okay, yeah, I was going to check to see if you needed it.
I think we're good. Yeah, so we're going to stick around for that raid, guys, and please hit them with the Ages of Ainor raid. We'll do... where's my raid thing? We'll do this. Pew, and then some of that. Kabla. Please hit them with that raid message, guys, and... Thanks, and we'll see you next time. Oh, we are going to play the song out, so just be ready for that.